Hello, welcome back to the ReDiscover Psychological Services YouTube channel. My name is Trevor, and I'm here with Wanda. She is the clinical director and owner of ReDiscover Psychological Services. And today we're going to be talking about 4 conflict types and how to work them out. Now, Wanda, how long have you been a psychologist for?
Oh, that's a big, long, loaded question.
Okay.
I've been registered for, I think, 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've been working really in the field of psychology and mental health for approximately about 20 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your history, like what made you want to get started in this type of business, this type of career?
I think it first entered my mind when I was actually in the Canadian Armed Forces, and I just saw a lot of vets vets and then people coming back from overseas, and a lot of trauma within their family. Of course, with trauma, it affects the whole family. So it really got me interested in psychology. And then I didn't know that I wanted to be a psychologist at first. I just knew that I had a general interest in psychology. And of course, this is where it led me. So
where it ended up.
I like working with families with trauma and couples with trauma. So
Great.
Yeah.
Now, and speaking of which, I mean, that kind of ties right in with conflict types and how to resolve them. So let's go over the different types. So the first type is critical. So the critical type of conflict. Tell us a little bit about that and how to work with that.
So really that just means, so what we're talking about today is Gottman's 4 styles of, so the four horsemen of the apocalypse. So one is critical, so being critical to one another. Really this is pointing fingers, you always do this, you never do that. So just being overly critical of your partner. I think all couples get in the habit of these 4 horsemen. It's just, the master couples tend to be able to recognize them quicker and then be able to do strategies, so the antidotes to correct them a lot quicker than the ones that are not masters. Okay. So in order to correct kind of the critical, instead of using you statements, we aim to tell our partner how we feel. So I'm feeling taken for granted. The dishes are always left on the counter. I feel that I always have to put them in the dishwasher, and I really need you. So using the I need, I feel this is why I need from you to help me with the dishes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And so in that critical, how common is that one in relationships?
So that is quite common. I think that's quite common for any relationship, not just your intimate partnership. We tend to want to put it on other people. So it is quite common. It's probably one of the most common ones that we utilize. Yeah.
It's probably the easiest one to get started with because everyone's critical of somebody else's behaviors and not their own.
Right. We don't take the time to look at our own behavior and what we're doing in that situation as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because we see our behaviors as, well, I meant it this way, right? And they take it as, well, you're just being super critical at me. And everyone has a different way of looking at criticizing other people, and they don't realize how it bothers the other person.
Yeah. Well, and another thing is like we're both individuals, right? We're individuals. We have our own patterns of behavior that are well ingrained before we even meet our partner. So to come out of those patterns, it's awfully hard, and we don't want to hurt our partner. That's never our aim, to hurt our partner. At least I hope it's not. That's another
that's a different
situation that we need to talk more of. Yeah. Come see me. But we don't intentionally aim to hurt our partner. It just so happens because we are ingrained in our everyday lives. We do certain things that might grate on our partner. Yeah.
Okay, Wanda. So let's talk about the different conflict type. The second conflict type, which is contemptuous. Tell us what that means and how we go about resolving that or working through it.
Yeah, so Gottman would say that this is probably the one that is the most harmful, detrimental to relationships. And this is simply because it really does create long-term emotional injury effects. And these are things like name calling, put downs, sarcasm, any of those that it's really aiming to hurt and get deep to your partner, right? We want to hurt them. We're hurt, so we want to hurt our partner, and so we come out with the daggers. And that just, of course, creates long-term effects. As you can see,
Sure.
the person that I love the most in the world that should love me back thinks I'm lazy, thinks I'm, all these names,
Right.
and then how can I trust this person? So it shuts down that trust.
Right.
And then of course, how do you build commitment if you can't trust your partner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you help couples kind of, have strategies to not use this type of language or to identify it? Like, what do you do in that sense?
Yeah, so really it does become about recognizing when you're in the moment, recognizing when you're utilizing them, when you're getting to that point of utilizing them. But what we really want to do is we want to help the couple create a culture of love and appreciation, fondness and admiration. Any of those qualities that will really combat that. If we love and really respect our partner, less likely we're gonna name call. We're gonna kind of bite our tongue in that moment and walk away.
Sure.
And so really that's what we want to do, and we want to kind of encourage our couples to do nice things for their partner often throughout the day. Just small things that that your partner really likes. It can be something like making them a coffee in the morning, just something really simple that shows that you love and appreciate them. And you want to do that frequently throughout the day.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome, and it's good advice. If you want to have a good relationship, do nice things, say nice things.
Yeah, be nice.
Be nice. Be nice to the person you're spending your life with. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into the third one, the third horseman of the apocalypse, defensive. Defensive. So tell us a little bit about the defensive one and how we work through that.
This is actually one of my favorite ones because it actually shows a lot of love. When we get defensive, we're trying to kind of protect our own view, our own perspective. And so we feel attacked by our partner in those situations when they're having, when they're saying something critical of us. That's usually when we see the defensiveness, is when somebody's saying something critical. We love our partner so much, of course we don't want to hurt them, so we feel hurt by them and we feel defensive. So we then counterattack. And that's generally what we'll see, is that attack, a counterattack, attack, counterattack. And then you have two couples that are in a state of defensiveness. And I think we all go through this. And so really a key is to identify, hey, this is what is happening in my conflict. And what we want to do in those situations is help couples identify and then take responsibility for a piece of the conflict. It doesn't need to be all, and it doesn't mean that you agree with your partner. It's just taking responsibility for a portion of it that belongs to you.
Right.
And surely in every conflict, because it's 50-50, something does belong to you.
Right.
And so just acknowledging that and taking responsibility. Oh yeah, you are right. I don't put them in the dishwasher. I just have never been taught to do that. Yes, okay, I will try to help you put them in the dishwasher.
Yeah. And, when it comes to marriage and relationships, it's constantly learning, constantly learning how to live with another person and growing. Like there's, I've been married for a long time, and it's always been a growing pathway, let's say, from the time we first got married early and to now, just learning a lot of different things about how to reconcile with another person, how to live with that person, and how to take in mind their feelings and thoughts and not just your own. So it's really about not being selfish.
Negotiating those, really. And I mean, life is so dynamic, right? Things come up all the time, and of course life doesn't just stay the same, or else it'd be easy, right?
Yeah.
Go through the same thing. It's like Groundhog Day, just so easy. You got everything. No, we have movement every day and different things that happen that we're constantly challenged with as an individual and then as a couple, because it makes it more difficult. So
for sure. Well, let's get into the last conflict type. The last conflict type is shut down and shut out. So tell us about that one. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, so Gottman will call that the Stonewalling. And so stonewalling is exactly that. You get emotionally flooded and then you walk away from the conversation. This can look many different ways. This can be going to a video game. This can be going to TV, just totally ignoring your partner. And that's what your partner sees is I'm being ignored.
Right.
You're not paying attention to me. You're paying attention to your video game. Or you're just walking out. And to a person that has experienced trauma and perhaps abandonment, that does feel like abandonment. And so they go into this, threat state, and then they want to save the relationship, and then they go and pursue, right? I want to make this work. I want to make this work. And then that just escalates the situation.
Right.
Yeah, and so for that, it's just really, we encourage couples to identify where they are emotionally at any given time within, conflict. And when they get to a certain stage when they're feeling emotionally overwhelmed, they can communicate that to their partner. And of course, we're doing this first in couples therapy, so we can, kind of teach them how to do that. And then when they're at home, both couples know, okay, these are the rules. This is what we're going to follow. I know when I'm, at a 5 on my SUD scale, subjective units of distress, then I'm starting to climb, and then I need space. So you're going to communicate to your partner, okay, I can't right now, let's revisit this.
Right.
And you actually do revisit it.
Yeah, you have to. Come back to it at
You can't just ignore it, or else it goes under that rug, that very bumpy rug.
Exactly. So this has been very informative and really great. I know we're just scratching the surface on all of these things. It's just a brief overview for people who are watching on YouTube or wherever this video is going to be published. So if you are in need of some help, some couples therapy, some family therapy, Wanda obviously knows what she's doing, and she's been helping a lot of families through this. So if you would like to learn some of these skills and incorporate them into your relationship, give them a call at ReDiscover Psychological Services in Edmonton, and Wanda will be happy to accommodate you.
Be happy, yes.
Thank you guys so much for showing up, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel because we have a lot more great topics coming up.
Thank you very much, and have a great day.